Alright guys, look at my hair, what the hell? The moment you've been waiting for, at least a lot of you have been waiting for it. It's time to rebuild red. Those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Sonny. Everybody calls me the Badger. That's why the channel's name's the Badgers. Mama Badger myself. That's my main bike, Silver. That's Mama Badger's bike there. That's my V-Rod that my 20-year-old daughter rides. And that is red. Red is a 2005 Cvo Fatboy. I bought it as a backup bike, and that's exactly what it's been. It's got about 30,000 miles on it, and it was a perfectly running, perfectly working bike. But it was not this bike. This bike is also a 2005 Cvo Fatboy. It's silver. It has 165,000 miles on it. Anyway, last year, this one started burning oil. And so I knew I needed to rebuild it. And I thought, you know what? I'll just wait to rebuild it this year. And I'll actually ride this one for the year last year. Well, I took it to Daytona. And while I was in Daytona, it just isn't that bike. The handlebars are different. The fit, the feel, the seat, everything's different. And although I love this bike because everybody else loves this bike. Like anytime I pull in the parking lot, people are going around it. People stop me on the road, telling me what a beautiful bike it is. That is what I love about this bike. What I love about this bike is I've put all but 17,000 of those 165,000 miles on that bike. So it is just my bike. It fits, it feels great, and I love to ride it. So what I did last year was I decided to sacrifice red to rebuild silver so that I could ride silver for 25,000 miles last year. So it worked. I took the jugs, the heads, everything off of red, put them on silver, and fired it up and rode it 25,000 miles. It was fantastic. But since I've done that, red's just been sitting here all alone, not being ridden, just waiting. The wait is over. I have new jugs, new pistons, the whole 9 yards here. Funny thing is, like the jugs, I didn't think I'd be able to get brand new ones. I did. Harley had those. Harley didn't have pistons. They didn't have rings. They didn't have anything else, but they had jugs. So I got 2 new jugs sitting right over there. I've got pistons in a box over here. And it is time to get this party started. So let's get red restored back to her old glory. And then all I got left is the 99 Fatboy, and I can tackle it. But first things first, let's get red out of the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner, right? And let's get to tearing her apart. I'll kind of go over piece by piece with this. I'm basically putting it back together stock. Unlike our other 2 bikes, like I have gear-driven cams in both of those. I'm just going to replace the tensioners. This has 30,000 miles, so it's due for tensioners. So I'm going to put the tensioners back on there, just replace the plastic. And yeah, I'm going to keep it as stock as I can because I'm not going to drive it that much. If it gets driven, 1,000, 2,000 miles a year, I'll be really surprised. So I don't really need to upgrade it because it'll do everything I need it to do. So we're just going to put it back together, stock, and enjoy the crap out of it. Let's get started. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, you can see it's out. I pulled off the cover for the cam chain, and here's your cam chain, here's your tensioner. It's spring loaded here, but this shoe, that shoe right there is what wears. There's another one back there. You can barely see it, but you can wiggle a mirror in there and see it better if you want. Rule of thumb is the back one's always worse than the front one. We're going to pull both of these so you'll get to see that, but you can take the front one, maybe I can do it with one hand. Peel it back. See that wear? See how there's a chain groove in that? That is it wearing out. That one's not in horrible shape, but it definitely needs replaced. So we're going to replace that. Like I said, general rule of thumb is the back one is worse than the front one. So we'll pull this all off and we'll take a look at the back one too, and then we'll let you decide. Anyway, let's get this apart. All right, so the question everybody's going to be asking is, what did the rear one look like? Well, the rear one actually crumbled as I was taking it out, but here is the rear one. You can see it's in pieces now. You can see the groove in it and the ledge there where it was grooving. That's the rear one. This is a closer up look of the front one. There's the front one. And then here's my new ones. They're supposed to be a better material, but they're black. And they're all mounted in there, ready to go back together. So, no telling how much further I could have ridden that before that would have shot kaputs and just destroyed the motor. And I've heard of them doing that before. So, always check those cam chain tensioners. And honestly, if you're going to do any, like, if you're planning on riding it for years and years and years and keeping it, then I would do, there's a few different fixes for it. So there's a hydraulic option from Screaming Eagle, and there's also the gear drive. But the gear drive, you have to measure your run out of your crankshaft, because if it's too much, then you can't run the gear drive. So a couple options for you. Make sure you do your homework if you're going to do this to your bike. Like I said, that bike doesn't get ridden much, so I just went back with the, and I want to see how long they'll last, so I'll keep an eye on them just to see how long these will last versus the factory ones. Anyway, let's get that part put back together, then we'll probably call it a day. Well, that's a wrap, and I almost forgot to wrap it up. In fact, I've already pushed Red back into her home. Of course, I left it on the jack because we're going to continue working, but as you can see, it's all buttoned up. So today we got the cam shoes replaced and everything checked out down there, all bolted back up, we're ready to go. I tell you, if I get like a full day, I can have this back together and running. So we'll see when that happens. I know Christmas is just around the corner. We got a lot of stuff going on between here and New Year's, so I don't know when I'll get to it, but I have made progress. I actually started on it, got some of it done, and we'll continue on from there. Anyway, if you guys want to see the rest and see if I can actually get old Red running again, be sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see all my new videos coming out. And we'll see you guys next time.